Best coffee farming practices for maximum farm income. Session number 3. That is integrated pest and disease management. Understanding coffee's major threats. Coffee faces multiple devastating pests and diseases capable of reducing yields by 50 to 90% or destroying entire farms if unmanaged. Yet the conventional approach of intensive prophylactic pesticide applications creates resistance, eliminates beneficial organisms, pollutes the environment, and costs between $150 to $400 per hectare annually, consuming profits while providing consistent protection, making integrated pest management, combining resistance varieties, cultural practices, biological control, and strategic targeted treatment the only sustainable long-term solutions. Coffee leaf rust represents the single most devastating coffee disease globally, causing defoliation, reducing photosynthesis and yields by between 30 to 80%, spread by wind or wind-dispersed spores under humid conditions, and responsible for periodic epidemics, destroying regional coffee production. The 2012 to 2013 Central America epidemic cost over $1 billion in losses and devastated hundreds of thousands of farming families. Coffee berry borer is the world's most damaging coffee insect pest, burrowing into coffee cherry to feed on beans, causing between 20 to 80% crop loss plus quality degradation from damaged beans, affecting all coffee growing regions worldwide. Coffee wilt disease kills trees through vesicular wilt. Anthracnose causes cherry rot and dieback, and various nematodes, scale insects, and leaf miners create additional pressure. The integrated approach provides superior long-term management at low cost than chemical-only programs. Resistant varieties discussed in variety section provide genetic foundation against leaf rust and other diseases. Cultural practices, including proper spacing, allowing air circulation, shade management, moderating humidity, and sanitation, which is removing disease sources, prevent outbreaks. Biological control through beneficial insects, fungi, and birds provides natural pest suppression, and strategic chemical applications provide backup when monitoring indicates economic thresholds exceeded. This multi-tactic approach typically reduces pesticide costs between 60 to 80% compared to intensive programs, while providing better protection through prevention rather than active treatment. Implementing comprehensive IPM. Foundation, that is variety resistance. Select coffee varieties with genetic resistance to major diseases. Arabica rust-resistant varieties, including Catimo or Sakimo Castillo, Colombia, or various F1 hybrids, provide between 70 to 90% resistance to coffee leaf rust, drastically reducing fungicide needs. Though some rust-resistant varieties may sacrifice some crop quality, requiring careful selection, balancing resistance with quality. Robusta coffee is naturally resistant to coffee leaf rust. though susceptible to other diseases, and suitable for lower altitude or less favorable sites, producing higher yields but lower cap quality and prices than Arabica. Resistant rootstocks grafted with quality scions combine disease resistance with excellent cap quality in some regions. Prioritize varieties with documented local performance in disease resistance, yield, and quality. Consult agricultural extension coffee cooperatives on research stations for variety recommendations suited to your specific region. Let's look at cultural disease prevention. Implement farm practices creating unfavorable conditions for pests and diseases. For example, proper spacing at 20 meters at 2 meters by 2 or 2.5 by 2 meters. That is having between 1,600 to 2,000 trees per hectare. Improves air circulation, reducing humidity that favors coffee leaf rust and other diseases. Traditional dense plantings at 1 by 1 meter, that is having 10,000 trees per hectare, create disease-friendly microclimates. Sanitation, removing diseased leaves, dead wood, fallen cherry, and other disease sources prevents inoculum build-up, reducing next season's pressure. Fallen cherry harbors coffee berry borer, requiring collection and disposal. Shade management at optimal between 40 to 60% provides disease-suppressing microclimate, while excessive shade of more than 70% or no shade creates disease-favorable conditions. Nutrition, maintaining adequate balanced fertility through organic matter and targeted fertilization enhances natural disease resistance. Poorly nourished trees show between 2 to 3 times greater disease susceptibility. Pruning, discussed in pruning section, opens canopies, improving air circulation and reducing disease pressure. Biological control, encourage and augment natural enemies, controlling pests. For coffee berry borer, the parasitoid wasps provide excellent biological control when established, requiring no farmer action once populations established. Some regions have programs releasing these beneficial wasps, establishing them in coffee growing areas. Beauveria bassinia fungus infection and kills coffee berry borer and can be applied as biological insecticide, providing between 60 to 80% control without chemical toxicity. Birds consume massive numbers of coffee berry borers and other insects. Research shows that farms maintaining birds' habitat through shade trees and forest connectivity have between 50 to 70% less berry borer damage than farms without birds. Beneficial insects, including lady beetles, lacewings, and predatory wasps, control aphids, scales, and other pests when habitat is provided through shade diversity and avoiding broad-spectrum insecticides. Monitoring and thresholds. Scout regularly, assessing actual pests and disease pressure rather than spraying preventively. For coffee leaf rust, monitor mostly during rainy season. examining lower leaves where rust appears first. On between 50 to 100 trees distributed across farm, counting rust pustules and applying fungicides only when incidence exceeds between 5 to 10% of leaves, showing active infection with favorable conditions continuing. Many seasons show low pressure not justifying treatment. For coffee berry borer, monitor after harvest, examining remaining dry cherry on trees, counting borer infestation rates, and implementing trapping plus sanitation if infestation exceeds between 2 to 3%. Higher rates require harvest intensification plus possible biological control applications. This threshold-based approach ensures treatments occur only when economically justified, reducing costs by between 60 to 80% compared to calendar-based preventive programs. Best coffee farming practices for maximum farm income, Session 4. Click on the link below to watch this session.